I'm Emily Geismar. I'm from Maine, here in the US. I got my job at PricewaterhouseCoopers in their valuations division. I was fortunate enough to land an internship over the summer with them and then receive a full-time offer in August. A couple of the key success factors I think came with landing my internship and then later my job is I had an idea of the positions I wanted to be in and the companies I wanted to, and by talking with people, people in career services, professors, friends, I was able to communicate these needs, and later when something happened to pop up, I was the first person that came to someone's mind and they said, that sounds like a fit for Emily, why isn't she on that list? When can we get her in? How can we get her resume in and able to go forward?
My name is Stefan Stoev and I'm from Bulgaria, and I just finished my first year of Masters here at Brandeis. So you might wonder how you connect with those alums. Go to the career services. You get to speak with wonderful advisors there who can coach you on what fields you really are interested in. And most importantly, they can connect you with the right alums out there in the world who can help you get those jobs that you want to get. First of all, he told me what the job is all about, since he was working in the same division. So that was one thing. Second of all, he knew the recruiter. So he pushed my resume through the pile so that, it gets noticed. And third of all, he gave me confidence just by talking to me. I was feeling a lot more confident about myself, my ability to get the job. And eventually, I think those three things really were what made me get the job.
My name is Melissa Brandsberg, and I am from the United States, and I'm an MBA student. My job after school is I'm an international trade specialist at the U.S. Department of Commerce, the federal branch, located here in Boston, specifically with the U.S. Commercial Service. Here at the International Business School, I did a lot of activities outside of just classes. Of course, I did take a lot of classes, but I also got involved in the Student Association, in the Women's Club. I was a leadership fellow, and there are probably 100 other things that I did I don't even remember anymore. And those were really critical for me when I was applying for jobs, because when I went to interview, I would say, well, I put on an event where I got people to carve pumpkins, and I got 10% of the school to show up. And that sounded really impressive. I was very motivated. And that really sparked an interest with my boss, and I think a good reason why I got hired. He knew that I was very busy here at school, very productive. I was willing to go the extra mile. And for that was really appealing to him and definitely helped me in getting the job that I have now.
My name is Vlad Prokopov. I'm from Russia. I'm a master's student in international relations and economics. I was involved in the business case competition, which is organized by the consulting club at IBS. One of the judges at the business competition were presented. We got a second place, unfortunately, but one of the judges at the case competition turned out to be one of the high-profile executives at Accenture, another consulting firm. And he happened to be one of the leaders, one of the executives at the Eastern European office of Accenture, and spent many years working in Moscow. Now he's one of my contacts. I've met with him a number of times, and it looks like through him I'll be able to secure at least contacts, leads to interesting opportunities, interesting projects, potentially interesting to their jobs.
My name is Hakan Bjørke. I'm a MA student in International Economics and Finance. I'm from Norway. The most important thing was that I had a friend here at IBS who had very similar interests as me. We both wanted to get into the finance career track. That was very helpful because we, on a regular basis, discussed news, the things we learned in class and how applicable they were to the real world. And that's what they're actually looking for in the interviews and in the phone interviews. So when you talk to them, having that knowledge and having discussed it before is very important. Second was starting early. Career Services stressed it was very important that we started early with our resume. I took that advice and started early, and I was able to apply to my internship position in early September. The process is very long, and I didn't get an offer until the end of January. And I think therefore starting early was one of the key success factors. Preparing for your interview is the most important. Never go to an interview without reading the news the last 20 days. Not go to an interview without preparing at least 3 times in a mock interview. If you're having a phone interview, do a mock phone interview. Me and my roommate, we have done several mock phone interviews, both when I was having my interviews and when he was having his. And that was probably the reason why we did so well in our phone interviews was because we were used to the setting. It's very difficult to impress someone when you can't have the eye contact and look at the body language. So that's why mock interviews are very, very important.
My name is Mavluda. I am from Tajikistan. I'm an MBA student. Some of the key factors that helped me get this internship is getting involved in everything that we do at school, all the different clubs, all the different programs, and also the third thing is being persistent. First-year students, they really need to get started early. It's really important for you to take the initiative and get ahead of everyone. Go get started on your cover letter right away when you get here in September, and make sure that you start practicing your interview skills even though you don't have an interview set up yet. That's what helped me. When I got this last interview, it was just right on the spot. So if I wouldn't have practiced with all those interview workshops and everything, I maybe not have done as well. Because if you don't go there until January, then, I mean, you could still do it, it's still doable, but you'd probably miss out on a lot of opportunities.